Hey, do me a favor. On that side of the bar where all my buddies are hanging out at, there's an older couple, Pat and George. Can you get them these 2 tickets for me? Russ Taylor. Russ Taylor. Oh, okay.
Are we getting pictures that we're doing?
How are you? There we go. Stand up. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thanks, Ross. Nice to meet you, Ross.
I'm just happy I finally
All right, so you're bringing us in. I don't have anything to do until the tribute.
Until I introduce the man, the myth, the legend.
And I'm doing ticket giveaway right away?
Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this first segment brought to you by CS Residential. And then I'll get it over to you for ticket giveaway. And then I'm going to do it real quick because I had to give tickets to anybody else. So I'm going to give tickets to how I did it. And then we'll dive right into this week in close baseball.
I wouldn't call attention to the fact that they had technical difficulties.
No.
Just be like, hey, we never got to announce last week.
Right. Our live reads are right here. So I figured you don't have them, but I have them.
All right, cool.
I'll hold on to them because I got to do a CS for the segment, and then I got to do, I think I do Green Legion at the
That's
end.
fine. That's fine.
I don't hear Jansen.
Hey, guys. How are you? Yep. Not right at the moment, but I will be in about an hour and a half. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's much better than last week.
It's nice. You kidding?
Freaking got scorched last week.
Was there a reason why we don't
30 seconds.
You should have a commercial coming.
I don't want any conflict with
All right, boys, let's do it. Here we go.
Dude.
Summer Sundays are meant for freshly cut grass, ballpark dogs, and the best baseball talk you can find. So kick back with your bacon and eggs and pour yourself a mimosa while Phillies announcer Greg Murphy and Green Legion Radio's Chris Sack break down your flaming Phils and take you around the league right now on Baseball Brunch.
And good morning, South Philadelphia. We're down here live. Yet again here at 1100 Social and Xfinity Live right outside the ballpark. We're expecting another huge crowd for today's Philadelphia Phillies action against the New York Yankees. It's Reddit in one fire. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bud Light Baseball Brunch. We're powered by Green Legion Radio, 102.5 Fox Sports, The Gambler, Philadelphia, 104.1 in the Trenton area, WDAS, AM around the rest of the Delaware Valley, or to simply download that iHeartRadio app. You can listen to us anywhere, crystal clear, worldwide. Again, we're down here at 1100 Social, Xfinity Live, and we are getting you set for Phillies Yankees. I'm Chris Sack, and I am alongside Phillies broadcaster Greg Murphy. What's up, Murph?
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we got a great crowd here today.
Yes.
And when you talk about great crowds, what was at the ballpark yesterday? About 30. Well, I'm not going to give the exact number.
don't.
Yeah, well, you know what? I will. We'll see if anyone's paying attention. 38,450 out there at Citizens Bank Park yesterday. We expect the same today. Hey, it felt so normal yesterday at the ballpark, and the Phils obviously walking off with another win and send at least 2/3 of that crowd home happy. There were some Yankee fans in the ballpark who are not as happy, but you know what? To me, I was looking down from the booth and saying, we've got 38,000 plus baseball fans back at a ballpark, and that's really what it was all about. Great game, and you know what? It's exciting. It's exciting to get back to normal, and good to see everybody down here as well at Xfinity Live.
Yeah. Speaking of feeling normal, Murph, the Phillies went 4-1 this week, 3 straight walk-off wins. That right there feels normal as a Phillies fan, right? I mean, we're getting back.
Well, I'd like that to be the norm.
We're at 500 now. We're back to that.
Yeah.
Real quick, Murph, and we left you last week. You were going on a flight that afternoon. You were going out to Omaha, Nebraska. Your son was swimming to qualify for this year's Olympics. Please give me an update. We all like to know how he made it out, and proud papa right here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He did great. He made the finals in his heat. He was in the A finals on Monday night of the 200 breaststroke. Didn't win that. He needed to win that to keep on going. So, but it was a great ride, and yeah, certainly a lot of fun watching him out there swimming with the big boys. So.
We'll see him again in 3 years.
Here's hoping. That's the plan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds great, man. Well, congratulations to him, and just to be in that position is just awesome. And very proud for him and for you as well and your whole family. This first segment is brought to you by NCS Residential and Custom Cabinetry. For all your residential contracting needs, this is who you want to talk to. Everything from additions, renovations, kitchens, baths, closet organization, cabinetry, vanities, basements, everything you need. Mention the Green Legion for your next order and get 10% off, regardless of how much. Reach out to them at www.ncsinc-pa.com or call them at 484-202-3656. That is www.ncsinc-pa.com or call them at 484-202-3656. Again, here at Bud Light Baseball Brunch, we are giving people. I know the Green Legion, we've been giving out tickets to a lot of you that are here today, and we're giving people as well, Murph and I. So back this week, last week, we tried giving away tickets a different way, but hey, we're back to ticket trivia giveaway this week, Murph. So why don't you go ahead and take it away?
All right, so your chance to win 2 tickets for Tuesday, June 22nd's game against the Washington Nationals. Game time is 7:05 that night. We're going to give you some trivia. You've got to answer. In order to win, you must answer in the comment section on the Green Legion Radio YouTube channel, the Green Legion Facebook page, or on our Twitter handle at Green Legion. All right, so you ready to go? Here's the question. During the course of Chase Utley's career, he amassed 1,885 hits. His first career hit was a grand slam off of the Colorado Rockies starter Aaron Cook back on April 24th, 2003. If you're a Phillies fan, you remember that. We want to know who were the 3 runners on base when Utley hit that grand slam. That is tough. That is a tough one to make you work it, Google.
Yes,
work it.
Make sure you have all 3 in the same line of answer, okay? And so, yes, we're going to make it difficult on you for sure. So that will announce the winner and the trivia answer as we come back in from our second segment. And speaking of the second segment, hopefully you guys are all tuned in because we have former Phillies player and general manager and assistant general manager joining us, Ruben Amaro Jr., current broadcaster and in-studio analysis over there at NBC Sports Philadelphia. Ruben will be joining us as well to talk a little bit about the present-day Phillies. I'm going to try and avoid talking to him about Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee, why we had to trade away Cliff Lee after we acquired Roy Halladay. I'm going to try and be nice today, Murph. He's nice enough to join us.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Now, you know, he's probably been asked that question 10,000 times.
I want to make it 10,000. Yeah. But hey, real quick, speaking of the ticket giveaway that we had last week, congratulations to Marcus Lorenz for winning last week's tickets for today's game. Being that we had, last week we didn't really get to give away the tickets on air, so I wanted to do something. I still want to stick with the context of what we were doing. Name Sack's top 5 favorite Phillies of his lifetime. Right? Remember, I was born in 1986, so name his top 5, and my wife had to go ahead and put it on Facebook and spoil it for everybody. So I was like, you know what? Listen, Father's Day Appreciation Day. I'm a father of 2 young boys. I want to give these tickets away to a father. So I give them away to Marcus and his daughter Riley. He's going to bring her to the game today. Father's Day is next Sunday. And the Phillies will be in San Francisco. So congratulations to Marcus. And speaking of my top 5 favorite Phillies, we did not get to announce this last year.
Yeah, you're going to go backwards, number 5?
I'm going to go backwards to number 5. So number 5, Darren Daulton.
That's a good one.
My first favorite Philly player. Fell in love with the Phillies in the early 90s. You can't go wrong with it. So number 4, the Doc, Roy Halladay. I mean, I salivated over Roy Halladay when he was with the Blue Jays. And then when we got him, it was just, probably the best 2 years of Phillies pitching baseball I've ever seen in my whole life. Jimmy Rollins, number 3. The last 3 aren't really that hard to understand. No. The big piece, number 2, Ryan Howard, and Chase Utley, the man, at number 1. So, without further ado, we have to go out of the box.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about the week that was, Murph, in Phillies baseball. And as I said at the top, 4-1 to be 3 straight walk-offs. Man, we could have been 5-0 if the bullpen didn't blow it in the 8th inning on Tuesday night. But, that is baseball. We did have 3 walk-offs right after that. The usual Friday day off as well. But I sit here right now, this Sunday morning, I think that the best story from this week was Captain America Luke Williams.
It was a good one. I mean, whenever you see a young guy come up and make his major league debut, and I've over the years had a chance to interview parents as their kids, their sons are making their major league debuts. It's always a really kind of special moment for the family, for the player itself. And it's always made a little bit better if they get a base hit, make a good play in the field, score a run, something like that. Very, very few times are you going to get to see the story that we saw unfold for Luke Williams in his first major league start. He hit the walk-off home run, and there was no doubt about it. I mean, when it left the bat, I knew it was gone right away. And to see him, float around the bases and just contribute to a team that he just arrived to, and it's a moment he'll never forget. And I think it's a moment a lot of Phillies fans probably won't forget anytime soon. It was really cool to watch.
We talked about this yesterday on Green Legion Radio's program from 1 to 3 on Saturdays, and it was just in the moment right there. I mean, it's a 1-0 game. The Phillies offense was scuffling. The last hit was a double that Luke Williams had hit earlier in the game. You have Will Smith on the mound. I think the Braves are 25 for 25 when leading after 8 innings. And, Will Smith has given us fits over the years. And 0-1 slider to Luke Williams. And, this kid had no home runs in the minor leagues this year. He's coming off of a week last week where he was qualifying Team USA for the Olympics in Tokyo. And he had a heck of a week. 8 for 18, a double, a triple, a home run, 6 RBIs, 4 games. And comes here. His first game was on Tuesday. And then Wednesday night, he goes out there with the game on the line. And when he was rounding first base, you saw the look on his face. It was like he was floating around the bases. And, his teammates' reactions, I took it, the camera guy for the Phillies took the still shot. I just kind of stole it. But it's just wonderful to see, as he's coming to the plate and then he jumps and they're all squirting the water on him. And then he's getting the interview done with Tom McCarthy and just after the game. And they're dumping water and Powerade and everything on top of him.
They almost waterboarded him.
Oh, my Lord. It was incredible just to see that. And, my wife wasn't blowing up my spot, but there was some tears there. That was a special moment for being a dad and not knowing how that feels. My kids are young, but you just have a special moment like that this week with your son. It kind of just brings you home to see the reaction that his family had.
Yeah.
He had trying not to cry, talk about his family.
Yeah, I was talking with his dad the next day up in, they were up in the broadcast area because they were going to go on television later that day. They were on the radio pregame show. And we were just talking, and, you have to stop and realize that when something happens like that, it's a family accomplishment because, so much is given to these guys as they come through the system. Families have to sacrifice. They're traveling on their own dime. They're going out to showcases to see if they can get the kids drafted. A lot goes into it. And, in a family like that, they have a couple of athletes as kids. Daughters and American football players. But, it's an accomplishment for the entire family. Sure, Luke is the one on the field getting it done, but you could see the younger brother was so excited to see his older brother out there.
Oh, yeah, the camera, that was fantastic work by the camera crew. I mean, you being on TV for all those years, and you know those guys that are doing that job, and that was just perfect timing by everybody. The producer, the director, Tom McCarthy, Ben Davis. Ben Davis called the shot.
Yeah.
He's sitting there, he's like, well, man, it's in his head, it crossed his mind. And, it was just, it was a complete special moment. I hearken to say that it might be the most special moment the Phillies have had. Now, last year was a 60-game season with the pandemic. The most special moment the Phillies have had since Bryce Harper's Grand Slam.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's the one that jumped into my mind to, as the next one in line. So, and look, I'm not saying it's going to turn around the season. I'm not saying it's going to be the be-all and end-all. But it looks like they haven't lost since. So, and you know what? I think the one thing that we can take away from this week is that even in the loss, not necessarily in the loss, but we're starting to see this offense not be one and done, score 2 innings or 2 runs in an inning and then be done, shut down. We're seeing them tack on runs. We're seeing them add. Yesterday's a prime example. They scored 4 in the first, but they needed 3 more just to get that into extra innings, and then are able to win in extra innings. The offense to me is starting to click.
Yeah, it's pretty easy when you get Bryce Harper and JT Realmuto back in the lineup.
It helps, and Bryce is struggling, but
His presence.
what he does to that lineup, and he lengthens that lineup, and he makes the other manager have to make decisions that he might not have to make if Bryce isn't in there. And then, yesterday Bryce got a couple of hits, so maybe he's starting to break out of it. JT's starting to look like his old self again. We're still waiting to get Didi back in the middle, but
I know he's in AAA.
Yeah.
He's down AAA right now. I think today is supposed to be his last game of that assignment. Are we going to expect to see him on this road trip against LA and San Francisco?
I think that remains to be seen. If he's 100%, they're not going to rush him because the way Didi, the way his body processes inflammation, unfortunately, with the kidney issues that he has, it's a challenge when he has an injury like this to get that swelling down and to get it completely out clean free. So it takes a while. And the last thing they want to do is rush him back and then have him back on the DL. So I don't know. We'll see what he does finishing up in AAA. If he comes out of it feeling 100%, yes, I think we'll see him on the roster headed out to the West Coast. But if there's any doubt, I think they'll hold him back. Ronald Torreyes has been really good.
Yeah.
Feeling it. He's been really good. And I don't know that you can expect him to continue it for the rest of the season as a starter. But, man, oh, man, that's exactly what you need, a guy that's a gamer that's going out there and filling that role while your big guy gets healthy. So, we're going to see Didi soon enough. I'm not sure if we'll see him this week. Okay. So.
All right. And then another great thing that continues to happen this year is the emergence of the true staff ace, Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, it's hard to argue.
I mean, unbelievable numbers on Thursday. 8 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, no walks, 12 more strikeouts, lowered his ERA to 2.29. He is right now, hands down, the all-star representative for this Phillies team. And I think the guy who's had the walk-offs the last 2 games, I saw the stat the other day, he's top 2 in batting average, slugging percentage, and on-base percentage in National League second base. National League second baseman, Gene Segura. But Zach Wheeler has truly been special. Today is the day that we need Aaron Nola to step up. We need this is not a rubber match today, Murph. Like we previously had on Sundays. This right here, we need to take this 2-game set because this stretch that we have over the next week, 3 with the Dodgers in Los Angeles and 3 in San Francisco, which has always been a house of horrors for the Phillies. We need to get this game today, and Aaron Nola has to be stopper for that. But talk about Wheeler.
Yeah, no, I agree exactly with what you just said. Zach Wheeler's been he's been absolutely outstanding.
What a bargain.
Yeah, if not for Jacob deGrom, you're talking about him in the conversation for Cy Young in the National League this year. And you know what? Hey, a lot of seasons still to play, so maybe he's able to.
And DeGrom can't seem to stay healthy right now.
So it'll be interesting. And on a side note, I really hope that DeGrom does stay healthy.
I agree.
What we're watching right now is remarkable.
Yes.
One of the great all-time players, Jacob deGrom, and what he's been able to do. But that said,
his spin rate hasn't gone down.
No.
Like other pitchers.
No, it has not. I think that's worth noting.
Like that Garrett Cole.
Yeah, there's a couple that they have. But getting back to your point, yeah, Aaron Nola, this is a big start for Nola. I think one of the most distressing statistics that I've seen over the last couple of days in regards to Aaron Nola is that the Phillies, the team itself, is just 2-6 in his last 8 starts. That has to change. They need Aaron Nola to be a top of the rotation guy. And again, we use the word ace, and we use the word number 1. To me, there's a huge difference. There's a number 1 starter, and then there's aces. There are very few aces in baseball. Zach Wheeler is putting himself into that conversation. He may have put himself solidly in that conversation at this point, but we still need Aaron Nola to be a top of the rotation kind of guy.
Absolutely.
We've seen him do it before. He has the talent to do it. For whatever reason, his command has been suspect over the last couple of weeks. Hopefully, in his side sessions, he's working through that. He's working with Caleb Coffin, the pitching coach, and they're trying to figure out mechanically what is going on with Aaron Nola because he needs to get it back. To his credit, even when he doesn't have great command, he's still able to battle 5-6 innings and keep his team in the game. But they need more from him. They need him to be that shutdown guy. And if he can get back to doing that, and you put Wheeler alongside of him, and then you have Eflin and Velasquez doing what they're doing, this team is, and if the offense can start to really click like we've seen, this team's going to win a lot more games than they have in the first part of the season.
Right.
They really are. It's what we thought we were going to see. And they're lucky that they're hanging out right where they are, 4 games back in the NL East with the way they played. But it looks like it's starting to turn just a little bit.
Okay. Real quick, too, nobody has answered the trivia question correctly yet, according to Sam. So reminder to you guys, we're looking to give away these 2 tickets for the June 22nd game. It's when they come back from the road trip against the Washington Nationals. Make sure you guys get onto one of our social media feeds and answer the question, Google can be your friend. I'm not sitting here judging it.
Can we give a hint? Can I give a hint out there?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're looking for the no hints. No, you be quiet, please. I'm giving hints. We're looking for the three players that were on base when Chase Utley hit that first grand slam, his first hit in the big leagues. Here's my hint. Catcher for the Phils, long time catcher for the Phils.
Long time.
The last guy to hit for the cycle for the Phils was on base.
Why must you do this to me? Yeah, I see you over there. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And these guys are going to give me a hard time for that.
Everybody hit.
And then, just simply one of the all-time great players that played for a period of time.
And a great gentleman.
There you go. So there's your hints. That probably made it pretty easy.
Maybe.
I think we're going to get some answers.
Absolutely. So why don't we give ourselves a little bit of time here? I'm going to hit my live read, and then we're going to go to break. That way we have a little bit of time leading into our interview again with the former Phillies general manager, Ruben Amaro Jr. The Green Legion want to spend the weekend at Caesars Palace when the Eagles play the Raiders. Want to spend an awesome weekend in Lodo and Denver, Colorado. Want to spend a weekend in Arlington, going to Six Flags over Texas and Hurricane Harbor Water Park and headquarters at Texas Live. Sister property to our friends here at Xfinity Live. Travel with the Green Legion for all Eagles road trips. Go to greenlegion.com or contact the office at 215-666-5940. That is greenlegion.com or 215-666-5940. Here's Quimby's personal phone number as well. No, I'm just kidding. We'll be right back after these messages here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch, courtesy of Green Legion Radio on 102.5 Fox Sports and Gambler. We'll be right back right after this.
It's all about the nose. If you're the presence of bacteria, viruses.
Sorry, I gave you that one the last time, and it was the unabridged version. So I'll rewrite that. That was too long. But all good. Sounds great. Keep an eye on these guys. That speaker over there, I want at full fucking volume.
This one, yeah. Right. Absolutely.
New device fast all natural relief of science.
Sean, you're one on.
Coming on?
You're one on.
Go away. I'm keeping that mic down. You can't turn me away. That's the best part.
Think about the year, 2003. Don't worry.
Yeah. Controls the mic volume.
Think about the year. Gentlemen.
I use that term loosely.
Not Sean Henderson. Yeah. I've never called that jackass a gentleman.
Not fair.
Back in my day,
Now we got a lot of mates. I know the
All right, so you have the Jim Cashmere, and you're playing Harry Paul. And then we're giving the answer. Yeah. Yes, we're going back in the break.
And then what? Then next set for me? And then the intro, we're going to show me he's on the line.
in January of 1966,
Sorry, I apologize for last week.
And you should say about my fire, which goes to the
You've been involved. You've been involved with. You've been involved with this.
song takes to the number 1 in the U.S. in March.
Staff malfunctions, video malfunctions, years it happens all the time. That happens.
We did fine.
John, I'm sorry.
It's all good, man.
Can't call me.
This is good. We start to get a crowd outside. That's what we want. And I just dictate. We want to get a goddamn series. You need to go and with the player. Eagles player. These guys have been standing there for shit to get a lot of
Oh, I know.
not buying a goddamn thing. Take a glass of water. Bottle of water. No. And I start going, hey, let me get something off
autograph 75 years. Right. Yeah, I'm saying here, you're not walking up to the beer and so on, you're not getting an autograph. Yeah, it's purchase necessary. Yeah.
From 1967 coming up. Hey, but he just keeps on from stealing. 1995's Batman Forever was laughable, but Kiss from a Rose is the song we all need.
I'm gonna cry.
Radio.
The Gambler, presented by Pure Auto Insurance.
Here's Chase Utley that turns to do some damage here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Long drive, could it be? It is out of here! Grand slam home run, Chase Utley.
You know, we always like to do an homage to Harry Callis here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch, brought to you by Green Legion Radio. We are back here live, and the winner of the tickets, from what I can see here, is Zach Beck. Zach is over there. He's wearing a Hall of Fame Thomas shirt. I'm a man, and I win, and he won today. 2 tickets, 7:05 for the Phillies national game on June 22nd. Congratulations, Zach. I'll make sure. He is an employee of mine, so I'll make sure you get those tickets for sure. But the answer for the trivia question was Jim Tomey, Mike Lieberthal, and David Bell.
Who are 3 people that have never been in my kitchen, and also the 3 guys that were on base when Chase Utley hit his first grand slam.
Nor did I invite them to the Merck Memorial Day party.
No,
They were not on the list.
They should have been. That would have been a good time. All right, just a reminder, the next sip is a small plastic drink pouch that frees your hands while you keep your beverage in the ready position. NECK next sip. Time to free up those hands and wear your drink every time. It holds any beverage, even bottles, cans, and snacks. Text with both hands and drink at the same time. Visit nextsip.com and follow them at NextSip. And that's what we're talking about. You're wearing it. I see some people wearing the NextSip out here today.
Yeah, breaking
I
it
love
out
it.
for sure.
All right. Well, we are really excited to welcome in our next guest here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch. He is the former general manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, current broadcaster for NBC Sports Philadelphia, and a good friend as well. We welcome in Ruben Amaro Jr. to the program. Ruben, thanks for being with us. We're doing great. And Ruben, let's start here because I know you, much like me, were kind of taking in the scene yesterday at Citizens Bank Park. We're over here at Xfinity Live. We got a great crowd building here and a lot of excitement as the Yankees again in town. How great was it to see what we saw at the ballpark yesterday? Results aside, how great was it just to see the 38,000 plus out there?
Brings back a whole ton of memories for us. I mean, it was one of those things that you get really excited about when you see these fans enjoying themselves. Whether it's New York fans or Philly fans, it's one of those things that you just have to get excited about. And the energy was just absolutely spectacular. I was loving it.
Ruben, thank you for joining us. This is Chris, by the way. Thank you again for coming on Bud Light Baseball Brunch. Today's starter for the Phillies, Aaron Nola, he's been struggling ever since he had that complete game shutout against St. Louis back at the end of April. Can you dive a little bit into what is going on with Aaron and some of his issues on the mound? With the fact that his ERA is approaching 5 since that point, can you dive into that a little bit for us?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest things for Aaron right now. I just don't see him with the life on his breaking ball and fastball, shaker, whatever you want to call it. That combination, I just don't see the life in the finish at the end of his pitches. And I'm concerned a little bit about just his overall health, just because I don't see him pitching the way he has pitched in the past. Obviously, when he's much more effective than the hitters, will let you know. Obviously, the life in the zone is a concern for me, and hopefully he can bounce back. But I do have a little bit of concern about his overall health and how healthy he is, because I just don't see the tip on his stuff overall.
Ruben, it's interesting because obviously a lot of focus in on Aaron and how important obviously he is to this rotation. We were just talking about how the depth of this rotation with Aaron and Zach at the top when they're at their best is as good as it gets. When he's working in these side sessions, he's trying to kind of figure some things out. I was talking to Larry Anderson about it the other day. What can a pitcher do to you think in these side sessions? I know they're working on mechanics, they're working on just trying to stay healthy and get dialed back in. But what do you think he and Caleb are working on in these side sessions to try and get him back to early season form?
Yeah, I think what we can do is just really just continue to work in the practice, trying to get himself to be more consistent with his mechanics overall. He's been struggling, obviously not being able to throw his at the right in the right spaces, and like I said, there's the hitters are just telling him basically that his stuff is just not there. I think you could have to be much more, have much better command of his stuff. In other words, because his stuff is just out there, he just has a better command overall in order for him to be able to have effectiveness against, especially a team like the Yankees, that was all can really play that well.
Yeah, Ruben Amaro Jr. joining us here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch as we are broadcasting live at 1100 Social, South Philadelphia. Rube, right now, Reese Hoskins, we know he's a streaky hitter. Right now, he's mired in an over 22 slump. And I always say that Reese is at his best when he's hitting the ball the other way. It seems like he's getting back into the groove of where he's trying to pull everything. Is that your assessment of his swing right now as well?
Yeah, but I think you're dead on because, when he has the success, as you said, he's usually in high field. He gets very full hacky when he gets into those situations, especially when he's got RBI situations. So he had a couple of very difficult at-bats yesterday where situationally, if he's looking the other way, he's trying to drive the ball the other way, then he's going to have more success. And you've seen it. I mean, we saw it through the year last year. And actually, the early part of this year, when he was utilizing the entire field, I think when he tried to get out of front and tried to do his whole arm, it's almost like trying to do a little less and do more. And he certainly seems like he's trying to do much more.
Well, I guess, the good news of this week, as we look back, the weekend was, and 3 straight walk-off wins, Phil's looking for 4 in a row, Ruben, is the offense does seem like it's starting to come together a little bit. I mean, obviously, it helps to have Bryce back in the middle of the lineup, whether he's hitting or not. JT back in the lineup is hitting it as well. I think the move from him, production sliding down in the lineup, has been a good one. We're seeing some life at the top of the lineup with Odubel and Gene Segura. But I think there's more in this offense. Would you agree that we still have not seen the best of this bunch just yet?
I totally agree with you. Obviously, we don't have Steve Gloria as part of that equation. And he's a big part of that. But that's good. I mean, the Bears had a very nice job at the top part of the lineup. Dave Cruz, Lucas, Jim getting kind of a key late conversation after losing a lot of time. But I think you're right. Trey Carter, I think, was a good sign that they utilizing the other way, feel much better. I think all those things are positive. And I think you're right. I mean, I think there's more offense there. I was a little concerned because I didn't feel the justice being made. But now you start seeing some of that slowly happening. And as long as it happens sometime.
Sooner rather than later,
Yeah. If it doesn't, then it'd be a trouble because you just can't rely on the defense and the pitching all the time. They got to shoot back.
Ruben Amaro Jr. here with us live again on Bud Light Baseball Brunch. Ruben, I think when we first started talking about doing this show, Murph and I knew that he was going to be the positive one, and I was going to have to take on the negative context of things. So I hate to still harken on the negative here, although we're coming off a 4-1 week and 3 straight walk-offs. But the bullpen, the back end of the bullpen, the guys that we're relying on, they're holding us back. I believe I saw a stat the other day that the 8th inning ERA for the bullpen this year is worse than it was last year. Alvarado his walk rate is horrific. And Hector Neris yesterday leading to that 3-run shot to tie the game with LeMahieu. He walked the first 2 batters. He worked the first 2 batters after getting the leadoff runner out. What's your assessment now on guys like Alvarado and Hector Neris? What can we do to get them right? What's wrong with them right now?
Yeah, I think it's really a confidence issue for both of those guys. And I know Hector Neris can bounce back very, very quickly from most of his down, some of his down games. But, frankly, I'm concerned a bit always the same. I love Hector Neris. I think he's the guy who makes the last switch of really and to be a competitive team. I think that there may be better options, there may not be. I think there's better options somewhere else. as far as holding. My concern, obviously, is the depth. What has happened is the Roger Suarez down from the back and pitching the way he's pitching. He's shooting and pitching the game, especially in a very crucial game. He's going to get more opportunities to do that. He's going out to forward and out of. And I think that will be relegated to a situation where he may not be in a tough situation, and still he's confident back. And with the team hopefully fits in low leverage situation, and you give them smart to go out of the leverage situation. So you get that another thing we saw yesterday is Archie.
Yes.
What team will be coming back?
That's huge.
Finally has gotten to the point where he's going in the 90s, the mid 90s, and the low 90s. He's sharp over the breaking ball. There are things that are happening with him finally after battling some serious injuries. For him to get back and start being like the Dragon, that's going to be a big thing for him. Well, he's a concern, no question. He's a nice concern. I don't know if they have that guy on their roster who you can rely on, but some of them have to step up because if they don't, then it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We saw that last year, time and time again. All right, Ruben, before I let you go, real quick, talk a little bit about what walk-off wins can do to help kind of galvanize the team. We've seen 3 in a row. It hasn't happened for quite some time in the Bills organization. But, teams can build off that. We started the show by saying you sit right now 4 games out in the NL East, and I feel like the team should feel relatively lucky that they are in the position they are in, still very much in it as we head through the middle of June. But these kinds of wins, really, you can build off, can you not?
I totally agree with you, Murph. And they are lucky. I mean, no one's going to step forward now. The Mets are trying to play a little better. They still don't have all their whole arsenal back. That's going to be a concern because they're playing better baseball overall. I think one of the concerns that I've always had is finding that identity with this team. Does this team have an identity? Who's going to lead this team? Who's going to move the team forward? And what you're seeing now, and this is going to be a constant problem, is that there's several different guys who are actually adding and coming through in certain situations. There are obviously the last couple of nights, but you have other guys stepping forward, and as long as you have somebody stepping forward every day, and you know that those guys will not give up on a daily basis and still stay in the game even if they're down at certain times, then they're starting to create an identity for themselves, the team that will not quit. And if that happens, I think that's going to go well for them as they get closer and closer to the real games in September.
Hey, Ruben, real quick before we let you go, the owner of the Green Legion and the host of Green Legion Radio, Craig Chinaski, Quimby, has a question for you real quick.
It's actually not a question, Ruben. I just wanted to say there was a lot of scrutiny in the late 2000s and early 2010 with the Phillies not winning another title. But I wanted to say thank you, man, because those were the golden years of Phillies baseball, and you were responsible for that. In all fairness, just wanted to get that out because I don't think it's said enough, and seriously appreciate you for that.
Well, I appreciate that, Craig, but it takes a village. There's a lot of people some people are with me during that time. Before that time, to try to create that atmosphere and that for 10 years. But I'm very confident we did. I know we didn't have another World Series, but that's not the easiest thing to do in the world, and I was real proud of the club we put together, and hopefully we get back to that area again.
All right. First of all, I love a warm and fuzzy Quimby over here.
Yeah, seriously.
Shut up, Ruben, thank you so much for being with us here on the Bud Light Baseball Brunch. We appreciate talking to you, and I would imagine I'll see you in about 25 minutes over there at the ballpark. I love it.
It adds to it.
Nothing wrong with that. Ruben Amaro Jr. joining us here on Bud Light Brunch. Talk to you soon, Ruben. Thank you. And I thought it was interesting what he was saying right there at the end about having to, find that identity, because he's right. This team has not figured that out yet. I mean, and most teams that are playing 500 baseball haven't figured it out yet. But maybe, just maybe, and again, it's going to take weeks to know whether or not this particular week and what's happened has started to define this team. But if they become a team that feels like they are never out of the game, like the 08 team was, like the 93 team was. I mean, obviously those kinds of attitudes in a clubhouse can go a long way in helping the team win some ball games that they would have lost previously.
I agree. I think that's a tone that you need to set on that end with the offensive things, because that's what keeps the fans in the stands. That's what keeps them, around towards the end of the game. Because very easily fans can leave the game.
Sure.
I'm not one of them that leaves the game early. But you do see a lot of that. It can take away from the energy at the end. Those teams during those runs, you did not want to leave at all.
No.
Because you never knew what could happen.
Yeah.
And it was truly special for sure. Real quick, Murph, that I have a question for you here. He got on about Ranger Suarez a little bit. And, Ranger Suarez is really well. I know he gave up a run yesterday out of the bullpen. Is there a point here coming up that we're going to see Ranger Suarez in the rotation and take over for Spencer Howard so he can go back to the minor leagues and extend himself? Because right now, doing 2 or 3 innings is not helping out anybody. It's not helping out Spencer Howard. It's not helping out this ball club. We need more length out of our number 5 starter, and we're not getting it right now.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, and I'm sure it's being talked about at the upper levels of the Phil's front office. But how about this scenario? What we've seen from Spencer Howard is 2 really good innings, and then he kind of loses his velocity and is less effective after that.
Oh, he ran down the first base, man.
Well, but whatever the reason might be, but if you flip-flop Ranger and Spencer Howard, and Spencer becomes a starter, left-hander in your rotation, which the Phillies don't have right now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Ranger Suarez becomes the starter in that one, and maybe Spencer is the guy that is piggybacking off of him and giving you 2 strong innings after a solid 5 or 6 from Ranger Suarez. Maybe that's the way they kind of piecemeal it through the season. You're dead right. They need Spencer Howard to get stretched out and be ready to go as a starting pitcher in this rotation. I'm just not sure it's going to happen. It can happen fast enough this year because they need guys. They need Spencer Howard up here at least contributing at some level. I would not be surprised if we saw that scenario where Ranger continues to build himself up and can go 5 and 6 innings, and then you see Spencer Howard kind of piggybacking off of him. And if he comes in and pitches 2 strong innings, hey, then you've got something for this year. Not long term, but for this year, I think it might work.
I agree. Cherry Hill Triplex is the premier New Jersey Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Kia, Mitsubishi, and Ram dealer, serving South Jersey and all the Delaware Valley. We have a huge selection of new and used vehicles from which to choose. Cherry Hill Triplex, online or offline. Customers enjoy vehicle specials every day. We offer Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Kia, Mitsubishi, and Ram service and parts, and online inventory and outstanding financing options, making Cherry Hill Triplex the preferred dealer serving the entire Delaware Valley. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Kia, Mitsubishi, and Ram buyers, get ready and set up a test drive. Visit us in Cherry Hill, New Jersey today. We're Bud Light Baseball Brunch live on Fox Sports The Gambler, 102.5. We'll be right back right after this.
Really? How is it better days to enjoy your favorite iHeartRadio podcasts at home? Introducing
I know you can. You know how to get these things. I like that. Hey, you still scare me.
Honestly,
completely not alive is what I said.
Yeah, look, I wasn't his biggest fan when he was the general manager, and I think he made a lot of mistakes. But in this scenario,
We've said this before.
he's a guy that's working hard to get back, and
He was in over his head.
he probably
I think everything
He was in over his head.
it was.
That was the problem.
And there were other things involved. So.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that he still orchestrated an incredible fucking.
Yeah, and he's a good guy, and like I said, he's working his ass off right now to be a part of the broadcast, and I love it. So, and I really appreciate it.
He does a great job.
He does. I said to him,
He has a lot.
Are you okay now?
Yeah. I trust you.
There you go.
Well, I trust you to as far as I can throw you.
Haven't seen you pick up a baseball in a while.
No, it's been a while. Yeah,
Ben Davis is always holding that ball.
and Ben's proud. You know who was in the ballpark? Complete side note. Sarge was in the ballpark yesterday.
Yeah, he was on the Krinsky the other day.
Oh, he was? Yeah,
I miss him.
Oh my God, he's so great.
Well, he jerked off with that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have him on the podcast next week. I think.
I love Sarge.
Sarge was talking about my 5 favorite players of all time. When I was a kid, my number 1 favorite player was Greg
The Bull.
Yeah, and my number 2 favorite player was Sarge. And then I ended up
working with both of them.
This is funny because Sarge took over for Greg Lesinski.
Yes, and so I guess, Sarge, I was 12 when Sarge got down, and then he was the MVP of the NLCS, so, McKeon, I'm loving him, he's flamboyant. And then I ended up playing baseball in high school, and then
that's awesome.
And then working with Sarge, yeah. All right, so right when we come back, I'll do Bucks County.
Yeah, do Bucks County baseball read, and then I'll reintroduce the show, go to our picks. Can you believe it? Week that is coming up. This is a big week.
Yeah, so 3. What do we got? Off tomorrow, right?
No, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, tomorrow. Off Thursday. 3 against San Fran. We have a bunch of days off coming up. We're off Thursday.
7 days off.
Yeah.
Weird.
2 Fridays.
Yeah.
In the last few weeks. Bring her home, baby. Bring her home. You're home. Hey, next week, the Phillies be on the road. I think we're going to be in studio next week.
It's a 4 o'clock game, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't have said otherwise. Yeah. I would have switched the time. I would have done 10 to 11 or something like that. That's what I need. But I think when they're here, when not, we're going to be in studio.
Well, I can't be in studio unless it's 4 o'clock game.
No, it's fine. We'll work it out. Unless I can get the time changed to like 10 to 11.
Okay.
I'll take a look at what the schedule looks like coming up.
That's fine.
57. So, yeah, 57. All right, let's purpose get 55.
No, 57 is fine.
He's not getting sunburned this week.
That's right. So I need my picks, right? So wait, we're both, you know what? I'm gonna. All time.
Changing up on me. I changed up the one time for you, the one time you know. Hey.
The Gambler, presented by GREGG Insurance.
Bucks County Baseball Company is the premier vintage sports clothing and collectibles retail store in the tri-state area. Visit www.buckscountybaseballco.com or stop by their Bristol, PA location. Items from the Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, and so much more. You visit www.buckscountybaseballco.com or stop by their Bristol, PA location. The showroom is huge and the website is even bigger. Bucks County Baseball Company, the name Philly vintage sport.
All right, welcome back to Bud Light Baseball Brunch on a beautiful Sunday down here at the Sports Complex. We're probably expecting another 38, 40,000 fans every day. Can we get a sellout? I mean, it'd be awesome.
Sure, it's going to be close.
It's great. I'm Chris Sack alongside Philly broadcaster Ben Murphy. We're taking you home here and leading you in to Phillies Yankees this afternoon. And right now, we're going to dive into our FanDuel sports picks. And Jason, I know you got some music to play for Murph and I because last week we were red hot. Not just because we weren't covered up and we were getting sunburn in the back of our neck. Our picks were red hot, baby. Murph was 2-1.
That's right.
2-1, that's good.
The Cubs let me. It was good. I know where you're going.
You would have been 3-0 if you would have listened to me.
Yeah. Well, maybe
I told you to go the other way. But hey, who am I? I'm just a guy that went 3-0 last week. So, you guys, and for the season series, the Sack Attack is taking the season series lead with that 3-0. 15-14. I'm above 500, baby. And Murph is sitting pretty at 14-14-1.
14-1, which means I'm giving money back to the house, so I need to go on a little bit of a winning streak.
This is a big swing.
I've decided to stop drinking before I do my pick.
All right, sounds great. So we've got 3 seeds.
So let me just finish this one real quick.
All right, Murph, give me your first pick this week.
All right, so we both looked at this game. The Padres and the Mets happening up there at Citi Field. The New York Mets playing some really good baseball right now as they kind of battle their way through injuries, but they've been able to kind of hold on and keep it together. They're 4 games up in the NL East. I like this game, and my original thought was the Padres are going to pull one out, right? They're gonna, yeah. So, but then I thought, well, maybe I'll go with the Mets. So I hear you're going with the Padres in this game.
I'm going with the Padres.
All right, so here's what I'm doing. I'm going with the Mets to win it. They're going to sweep the Padres. It wasn't my original gut, and if I lose, ticked off, but all right. So
You do owe a switch
I
on
do.
it because I gave you one earlier in the season. So I don't think we've gone head to head with a pick yet.
No, I don't think
This
we
is the
have.
first time.
Well, the fact that I have to sit now and kind of half root for the Mets is disgusting to me. I hate the Mets, but
You might need to take a shower, Murph.
well, maybe I'll do that. I'll shower up. But look, the Mets are playing good baseball. This could very well go in my favor. So you got the Padres and the Mets.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Padres. Chris Paddock on the hill. Mets have won 3 in a row. Padres losing 4 in a row. Yet the Padres are favored in this game. So I'm going to take the Padres minus 130. Murph, give me your second pick.
All right, so the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. This is a great series in the AL East happening right now. 2 really good teams. The Blue Jays all over Nick Pivetta yesterday. Former Philly Nick Pivetta.
Sorry, I can't.
Gave up 4 home runs. Last day, just on the side note, Biggio, Chet, and Vlad Guerrero all homered in yesterday's game for the Blue Jays. All sons of former major leaguers. So I like this in terms of the over. It's Robbie Ray versus Martin Perez. And the over-under 10, which is high, I think he goes over. Above.
Here, can you believe it? It must be really good if you pulled that nugget out right there. During the course of our picks.
That's right.
All right. I'm going to go Indians minus 220 against the Mariners. Here's why. Earlier in the season, I picked the Indians at Seattle with Shane Bieber on the hill, not Justin Bieber, Shane Bieber, to beat the Mariners. Well, today they're in Cleveland at home. Beaver Fever is going to get revenge against the Mariners today. Minus 220. Add that to your ticket for Cleveland Indians.
All right, I like it. How about the Brewers and the Pirates? Good team versus bad team. Always fun to pick this one. I needed a gimme. So the Brewers are minus 203. Heavy favorites in this one. I am going to tip my cap to the Brewers. You got Hauser on the mound for them. Luke Crow on the mound for the Pirates. He's 0-4. Yeah, well, that would be disturbing. Will Crow has an ERA of 7.26. I think the Brewers light him up. I look for an easy walk-off win, a walk-away win for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay, sounds great.
It feels like 3-0. I don't know.
I think we say that every week.
Yeah.
But only I have done it twice. Only
you.
Yes, only me. All right. I'm going to go over 9.5 runs with Houston and Minnesota plus 100. You have Valdez on the mound for Houston. You got a 1.47 ERA. You have Michael Pineda pitching for the Twins with a 3.48 ERA. Why is this run line at 9.5? This should be about an 8.
Yeah.
About an 8. I'm expecting runs today in Minnesota. So I'm going to take the over 9.5 Houston, Minnesota. Add that to your ticket. If you want to make money, you bet with me.
Yeah, you're 1/500. That's basically breaking even. I'm just saying.
Murph, can you let me just,
No.
asking my goal?
No, I am a selfish man.
I could be like the Pirates guy that hit a home run the other day against the Dodgers and completely missed first base.
Yeah, man, there's some weird things happening. I saw someone tweet
How
out.
the hell did you miss first base?
Yeah, well, the ongoing battle between the Pirates and first base.
And themselves?
Yeah, first base and themselves. We've had a couple of
Oh, yeah, the
instances.
hockey.
Oh, my Lord.
Did you see the other gap they had? You can have a blooper reel with the Pirates.
Yeah.
The one that is.
Yeah, that's why I love
Right
my
in the
Brewers.
center,
My
right.
Brewers pick is a lock. Oh my God, I'm going down in flames. I can feel
Oh
it.
God! Without further ado, can you believe it? Best sounder that we offer here at Love Life Baseball Brunch. I love it every single week. 2 things each that we found interesting from this past week around the league in Major League Baseball. Murph, give me the first one.
All right, this one's coming from Scott Lauber of the Philadelphia Inquirer. He tweeted this out earlier this week. It's an awesome stat about Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler is the only Phillies pitcher since 1891. Yeah, let me do it again. 1891 to have at least 2 starts in a season with 10 or more strikeouts and no walks and runs allowed. That according to Elias and Scott Lauber. How about that? You're talking about 120, 30 years since that happened?
I think Philly was born in 1891.
Yeah, right around there. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, I owed him that, Chad. Actually, he's all the way on the other side of the patio, so I don't have to worry about that. I know we do this all the time, but this guy is truly unbelievable. as a starting pitcher.
Are you running Jacob?
I got to do Jacob DeGrom because this is incredible. Okay, what's today's date? June 13th.
Sure.
June 13th. Okay, Jacob DeGrom has driven in more runs this year, 5, and earned runs allowed 4 this season.
Incredible.
June 13th, which, by the way, is the 12-year anniversary of when I caught 2 home balls for one team against the Red Sox.
Your memory is outstanding. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I think we know. I think we know what that smell is. I just don't know where it's coming from.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Starting to get the munchies. I'll try to blow it the other way.
I don't
Anyone delivered Doritos?
I don't see anything in House's hands. House isn't doing it. Murph, give me your second one.
All right, here's my second one. There's been a lot of talk around Major League Baseball about the extra substances that pitchers are using.
Not that substance.
Not quite that. Well, they might use that too. I don't know. But who am I to judge? You know, putting stuff on their hands. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I live in Jersey. What do I know?
All right, we're breaking down.
All right. So the issue of the substances on the hands for pitchers, it's become a thing. And Major League Baseball has said we are cracking down, and it'll be interesting to see how it affects certain pitchers because, well, you think certain pitchers, well, you know, Garrett Cole's becoming a poster boy. Again, those are the two that we're going to point to. It's much like the steroid era. The best players also get, you know, the scrutiny of the steroid.
Yeah, for sure.
I would tell you that it's happening all over baseball.
Yeah.
It's happening all over baseball. And I'm glad they're going to crack down on it. Here's the note. Boston's early season overachieving starting pitchers, we mentioned they did that a little bit earlier. They've had a couple. How about this? Since the league has decided to crack down on the substances, their ERA is an 8.91 in 7 starts. And if you look at spin rates and on all of that stuff and the advanced metrics, there's a huge drastic difference. And it's happening all over baseball. I'm just pointing out, Dan Shaughnessy tweeted that out about the Red Sox. Certainly, they're seeing an effect. And it'll be interesting to see who else kind of comes back down to earth a little bit.
You know who I don't think needs to use substances or spider tack or whatever you want to say? Clayton Kershaw.
No, probably not.
Clayton Kershaw, 36 games during the course of his career with 9+ strikeouts and no walks. That's second most all-time in Major League Baseball history. The only one above him, the big unit, Randy Johnson.
Can I say this? Because I have said over the last 2 or 3 seasons, coming into each season, all right, well, this is the year that Clayton Kershaw will kind of slow down. And he has not. No. And I've also said, all right, this is the year that Max Scherzer will start to slow down. And he has not. And you know, these guys that do it at that high level, time, year in and year out, it's really kind of remarkable. You know, it's like you stop and think about what they're able to sustain excellence, and you know, take your cap. I'm not a Nationals fan. I'm not a Mets fan. But when you see these guys doing what they're doing, you really have to believe right.
Absolutely. So we have a quick look ahead here. We have a couple minutes left in the show. Today's finale with the New York Yankees, and the Phillies hit the road for 6. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against the Dodgers in LA. Off day Thursday, and then we had 3 in San Francisco against the Fighting Gate Capitals. This is first place. The Phillies are 11-19 this season on the road, and they go and visit the Dodgers and the Giants, both of which 2 of the best home teams in baseball, top 5 overall records in all of Major League Baseball. This is a big week, Mark. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, it is a big week. You know, we said it before, we'll say it again, and until it starts happening on a regular basis, the Phillies need to figure out a way to win games on the road. They can't go on to every road trip and come back 2 and 4, 3 and 5. You can't do that and have sustained success. You can't do that and win divisions. So, you know, they're playing, I would say, decent baseball right now. They're certainly not blowing the doors off anybody, but they're playing better than they have played for a good part of this season. They need to go out there, take the momentum, hopefully win today, take the momentum out west. And you need to come home 3 and 3, if not better, on that series. They're 2 good teams, and it's going to be tough. But if you're going to be there at the end, these are the road trips that you have to step up. You have to figure out a way to win. And you know what? Giants aren't playing quite as well as they were early in the season. Dodgers are still pretty formidable, obviously. They've got a ton of talent. But look, I'll be happy with 3 and 3, but bring that 4 and 2. I agree with that.
Yeah, let's start it with a happy flight to LA today after we beat the Yankees.
Yeah, big game today.
Big game. Aaron Nola, we need to get this win at home for sure. Thank you to everybody for tuning in and listening to us today, as well as our crowd down here. You guys have been awesome. Thank you to Ruben Amaro Jr. for joining the program today as well. Thank you to our staff here, John Jansen back in the studio. For Greg Murphy, I'm Chris Sack. This is Bud Light Baseball Brunch. And like a 3-1 pitch for Brian Howard, we are out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Let's go, Phillies! Thanks, Jansen. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Brilliant show, as always.
Show.
Not you.
All right.
All right, who wants some Green Legion Radio t-shirts, huh?
Give them out. Nice to meet you.
Hey, let's you enjoy your Sunday. You have a good time.